The wheel fortune change. You've been going through a lot of changes behind the scenes. There has been things that you are recognizing perceived failures are really positive changes. Perceived failures are now being seen through the lens of positive changes. Good luck, chance, good karma, destiny. Jupiter went direct yesterday, so there's a lot of new expansion, especially Jupiter ruled people. And I want to say it's like not the hope of positivity or hope of good coming in, positive coming in, beautiful coming in. It's a screw the hope. It's I need it so bad that I'm already embodying it as if the star in reverse. Yeah, so something was just so, from your perspective, it was just so hopeless within a certain area that you were just like, well, can only go up from here. And going through the necessary work that you've needed to go through to shift your perspective into seeing something that is hopeless into something that is positive, into a positive change. The universe is always working in your favor. Always. God, source, love, energy is always working in your favor. It's just a matter of perspective. And sometimes in order to reach that heightened perspective, you have to go through deconstructing, rewiring your neural pathways. You have to collapse old limiting belief systems that are no longer working. You have to see through a different lens. Something was causing you way too much stress. Way too much stress to the point where it was like, potentially like burnout, okay? And this is just stuff that you're rerunning in your mind. Going over, rumination is what I'm hearing, going over and over and over in your mind. And it's like at some point in time, you got to recognize that you are the observer of your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. And breaking those thought patterns and saying, I'm not going to get sucked into a swirling vortex of freaking rumination or hyper-focusing on things that are causing me stress. You have to recognize that this reality, sometimes you have to, especially if it's been the same thing that has continued to grab your attention for however long. At some point in time, you can do as much shadow work as you want, but at some point in time, you've got to say, that's enough. I'm done sitting in it. I'm done sitting in it. I've sat in it over and 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 over again, and I come out with the same truth each time. And I want you to remember that you are consciousness. This human avatar, you sometimes get so, you are just playing a character. You are just playing a character in a movie. You getting so wrapped up in personal, like sometimes you got to take yourself out of, like you got to take yourself out of being so invested into this human experience and get back into observer mode and like really watch your life unfold and see the bigger picture instead of getting so honed in on showing yourself a little bit more compassion. This is energy that I have been tapped into, and it's like this reoccurring message. Stop being so hard on yourself, dude. Like past mistakes having a huge impact on your today, okay, is creating so much stress, and you showing compassion to yourself in this place and space in your mind. Mental health matters type energy, right? Like it's like this is not something happening like in your physical 3D reality. There's not a bunch of things going on in your physical 3D. It's a bunch of things going on in your mind, right? And it's like it's time for you to like recognize that do you want to enjoy, or do you want to like live your life through an experience or a lens of just constantly worrying about things It's like stop being so hard on yourself. Yeah, 5 of Wands, 5 of Swords, both 5. It's about making a conscious decision in your mind. It's like, I've been over this 20 million times. Even if you go over it for the sake of shadow work, to integrate more truths or integrate your shadow and all of this, but it's like it's, at some point you're recognizing it as the same thing that you have been over 20 million times for however many years. And at some point in time, you gotta get back in the driver's seat and stop letting the thoughts of the worries of the past and how it affected your today, or if it's ever going to get resolved, blah, 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 blah. Okay, mentally moving forward will help you take action in the physical to move forward. Every time you have a thought that is revolved around something stressful or anxiety ridden, show yourself grace, show yourself compassion. You're a different person today. Your mistakes were needed. Every single thing that led you up to this point in your life, if you didn't make those mistakes, one, you wouldn't learn, you wouldn't have the knowledge, you wouldn't have the wisdom, you wouldn't have the growth that you have. And two, guess what? Some of you guys are living beautiful realities, but you're letting what happened in the past take away from your beautiful experience. You wouldn't be in this beautiful experience if you can see through the right lens how blessed you truly are, okay? You're allowing your past to dictate and take away so much of the beauty that surrounds you. And I know some of you guys have a hard time in the winter. I too have a really hard time in the winter. Like, it's very hard for me to like focus on the good. So if you are like me, you have to get in this place where it's like, absolutely not. That's enough. And you have to be so almost like hyper fixating on where your mind is going. And is it hyper fixating on the good to restore balance, to restore peace, to restore joy, right? You've had enough of betraying your own self by letting your mind kind of just go off into, and it's like, you bring it back. You bring it back into the focus of what it is you would rather focus on to feel the better emotions, right? It's all your mind, right? Easier said than done, but deliberate practice and deliberate focus. If you've lost, you lost your ability to retrain your brain, and your brain started going into places and spaces you've healed right out of, right? Like, you got to get back on track. You got to remember that you are the observer of your thoughts, but also you can, anytime you get a stressful, anxiety-ridden thought about something that you can't control, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now, replace it with 2 positive, beautiful ones to redirect your focus into the present moment, the present reality. I love you. You determine all these things. I see so many people getting wrapped up in so much stress and worry of what is going on in this reality right now. But here's the thing. We came here to experience. We came here to enjoy. We came here to create, not worry and stress our life away. And if there's some things we cannot do about it, I refuse to let it take my peace. And I hope that you do what you can to focus on the things that are good in this life, in this reality, to redirect into overwhelming peace and joy and fulfillment, because it still exists. I love you.